What if I told you that knowing your enemy's every move still doesn't mean you should act? During World War II, the British cracked the infamous Enigma code, gaining access to Nazi Germany's military secrets. But here's what I think is the shocking part. That they didn't stop every attack. They let some happen. Most of them, actually. And in doing so, they sacrificed many lives. And this is one of the most ruthless strategic decisions in history. And it's a brutal lesson for you as an entrepreneur, an executive, or a professional. So if you want to learn how to apply strategic patience and calculated risk-taking and brutal decision-making, also in your business, then you should know about the Enigma machine and those who cracked the Enigma code and what they had to face in making the right decision. What I would call the art of strategic sacrifice. So the story, if you don't know about the story, it's about Alan Turing, which is quite famous in these days because of the Turing test in artificial intelligence. And the British, actually led by Alan Turing and a team of brilliant codebreakers, cracked the Enigma machine, which was the Germany's unbreakable encryption. And this gave them unprecedented access to enemy plans. But they faced the brutal dilemma. If they acted on every decoded message, the Germans would realize their encryption was compromised and change the system. And the entire advantage would be lost. So, they made the hard call. They allowed some attacks to happen. They let some ships sink. They sacrificed short-term wins to preserve their long-term advantage. And what does this mean for you as a business leader? Well, think about your own business, your market, your competitors, your employees. Are you trying to win every battle, but losing the war? Are you reacting emotionally instead of strategically? Are you willing to make painful sacrifices today to secure a dominant position tomorrow? The business Stoic doesn't just chase short-term victories. They play the long game. The Stoic principle is control instead of influence. Epictetus taught us that we must distinguish between what we control and what we merely influence. The British didn't control the war, but they influenced its outcome by playing their moves wisely. They chose their battles instead of reacting to every single threat. In business, you must do the same. Competitors will attack. Don't react emotionally. Choose when and how to respond. Opportunities will arise. Don't chase everything. Some doors must be closed and must stay closed. Your team will make mistakes. Don't micromanage. Teach them to think long-term. The brutal truth is that leadership requires sacrifice. If you're building something great, you will have to make hard choices. Look at Jeff Bezos. For years, Amazon lost money. Investors doubted him. Analysts called him reckless. But Bezos understood strategic patience. He wasn't playing for quick profits. He was building an empire. And then look at Warren Buffett. He ignores short-term market fluctuations because he plays the long game, and he doesn't chase every opportunity. He waits for the right one. And look at Steve Jobs. He was fired from Apple, but instead of reacting with bitterness, he strategically rebuilt himself. And when he returned, he didn't just make minor changes. He revolutionized the company and the industry. And then look at Julius Caesar. Before crossing the Rubicon, he spent years cultivating loyalty among his legions, knowing that the real battle wasn't just military, it was psychological. And then look at Sun Tzu. It teaches us that the greatest victory is that which requires no battle. The best leaders don't rush into conflict. They shape the battlefield before the fight begins. The weak react to every event. The strong choose their moves. So the question is, are you playing to win? Or are you just trying to survive? If you want to master stoic business strategy, long-term thinking, and high-stakes decision-making, subscribe now, and remember, not every battle is worth fighting, but the right war, that's worth everything. Bye-bye now.